Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. 3 things that makes me feel extremely lucky. No, but seriously, extremely lucky. And I repeat a third time, of course, extremely lucky. The first thing reported by Ivan Zazzaroni, director of Corriere dello Sport, is telling us this morning that there are rumors, and actually it's not a rumor, it's a backstage story, that when Cristiano Giuntoli joined Juventus in 2023, so not this summer, the one before, if he was able to find an agreement with Max Allegri, do you remember about the Saudi Arabia voices, etc., that if they could split roads, well, his first target would have been Luciano Spalletti, that just won the Scudetto with Napoli. He said to everyone, I take a sabbatical year after winning that Scudetto with the Partenopei. We all know that then he didn't take that sabbatical year because he was seduced by Gravina and the Azzurri, if he didn't, and also because Massimiliano Allegri stayed at Juve, he didn't go away, so they couldn't find an agreement. Well, Luciano Spalletti could have been the coach of Juventus for more years, which by consequence, of course, Thiago Motta would not have been the coach today of Juve. If today Thiago Motta is the coach of Juve and not Luciano Spalletti, well, I think that we have to say thank you to one man, to Max Allegri, that decided to stay last year with Juve. Mamma mia, luckily. Grazie Max, grazie Giuntoli, grazie Luciano Spalletti for choosing the Azzurri, and grazie also Thiago Motta that started doing extremely well, being monitored and also entering the eyes of Cristiano Giuntoli. And that's the first of the 3 things that makes me extremely lucky. For the 2 other things, wait a bit. First of all, put a maximum of like, yes, also on Saturday. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to make that community bigger. You know it, it costs you 0 and it's helping me so much as a content creator. Guys, there is the huge big possibility that I go for Juve Lazio, my first game of 24-25 Juventus in the Allianz Stadium. I can't wait. 99.95% chances, so you never know in life what can happen. But that would be fantastic because then I go with or a full vlog in video or a short vlog format. Let's see. The second thing that makes me extremely happy, that is you guys. You guys that yesterday sent me so many birthday wishes. Grazie, really appreciate it. And I will tell you even more. 4 first team players sent it me on Instagram in DM birthday wishes. And it's the first time it happens. I was so happy. 3 first team men players and 1 first team women player. So thank you to the people. And it also have possibilities that are watching the video. So grazie per gli auguri. That's the second thing. The third thing is that we have a phenomenon at home. We have a phenomenon at home. It is Kenan Yildiz. Yesterday, he enters at the 69th minute of his game, international break game, with Turkey on the score of 0-0. The guy, incredible, he takes that ball, he carries that ball, he takes all the team with him offensively on the score of 0-0, giving that ball, unmarking himself into the box, receiving that ball, and then when that ball is going into his feet, if you didn't watch, go please in our Telegram group because the video is there. He's taking that ball, he's turning, he's dancing with the ball. He's dancing with the ball with his left foot, and then with his right foot, he's going, unfortunately, unluckily, on the post. Why? Because the stats will not give him a shot on target. You know it, when you hit the post, it's not considered as a shot on target. That ball bounced back. If there is a striker, there is a player that put it in 1-0. They win the game thanks to Kenan Yildiz. It's also not considered as an assist. What a pity. And because of the stats lovers, they will not consider it an assist. We all know that he changed the game and he gave the 3 points to Turkey. So congratulations to Yildiz. That has the big possibility to play again, like when he played against Como, like when he played against Verona, and like when he played against Roma in the first half, to again play as a number 10, because Cope Miners, we know it, we are monitoring the situation day by day. He will have that protection. Let's see how he's dealing with the suffering, with the pain. We see it, I know I will not edit, but if you are able to, maybe I will put a picture in the Telegram group. He's touching here. He's really that ribs that hurts himself at the moment. But Kenan Yildiz, that could possibly play. What about the lineup? Well, we are missing a lot of players. Conceição, Nico Gonzalez, etc. We are recuperating 2 players that will help to breathe a bit, especially on the bench. Timothy Weah and Azic Vasilje. I'm extremely happy to have both of them back on the bench as solutions for the game of Lazio, Stuttgart, Inter, etc. 7 games before the 3rd and last international break of 2024, before 1 extra in the month of March. Motta rifà la Juve. What is he thinking about to make Thiago Motta for the game against Lazio. It's a lineup that we already anticipated because we have not that many choices. Di Gregorio into the goal, Savona as a right back, Gatti, Kalulu, Cambiaso possibly on the left, or Cabal on the left, that's one of the doubts. In the middle, Locatelli, Thuram with extra options, Douglas Luiz or Weston McKennie. Up front, we have Orovea on the right or Cambiaso on the right. Depends where Cambiaso will play. If you're looking at the Cambiaso of La Nazionale, well, there are high chances that he starts again there to play, like in the second half of Como, like in the entire game of Juve Verona, no, the first half. Yildiz as a number 10, on the left, Bangula, and then up front, Dusan Vlahovic, that we will speak about in a second. Speaking about Cambiaso, I made a reel on YouTube. You can go and watch it. 3 things that you didn't know about Andrea Cambiaso. They told me when we were in interview last year. Cambiaso, there was something that he didn't tell me when we were live. It's that he said twice no to Real Madrid. We know it. We were speaking about it in the summer for 1 week, max 2 weeks, that they were really interested from Real Madrid to have a left, right back, anyway, a fullback, a versatile fullback, and the name is Cambiaso, even if another target of them is Alexander Arnold Trent, mamma mia, I don't know. That guy from Liverpool. Well, the other option is Andrea Cambiaso. He said no. The big wish of Andrea Cambiaso, of course, is starting to continue to grow with Juventus Football Club, a club that he wanted to play at. It's the first time that he's playing Champions League. He's totally aware about it. He's totally conscious about it. He's saying, it's the first time that I play against players that are not playing in the Italian league. So I'm learning. I'm in a path to grow. I want to continue. Then what he's not saying, but maybe also dreaming, is to one day becoming maybe a captain of Juve. But that's for the future. Cambiaso that said no to Real Madrid, but also in the summer, no to Aston Villa that wanted to give him a contract and really a lot of money. At the end, Barrenechea and Ealing Jr. went. They are back on loan. Cambiaso stayed at Juve. Luckily. One that we didn't mention is not even in the possible starters or on the bench. Well, I mean on the bench as second choices in that lineup that I didn't show you, but I told you, is Danilo. Danilo that is in one of the most difficult moments of his career. Not only is not finding spaces with Juve and Thiago Motta, but also with Brazil, where he's playing well. He caused a bit that goal that they conceded with Brazil. A lot of criticism on him. It's a tough moment there for Danilo. Extremely tough moment. Not only with Juve, but also with Brazil. So hopefully he get over that moment, because it's really tough. And he doesn't deserve it, seriously. Then we can discuss, does he deserve more minutes or not? Is it the end of Danilo with Juve? We can discuss, and I'm open to everything, but does he deserve that moment to finish like that? I hope he's doing much, much better, even if I really believe that it's the last season of Danilo with Juve. Gazzetta dello Sport is not speaking about Juve, except on a really small block that can become a big important news. Skriniar to Juve. Juve is really interested in Milan Skriniar. I told you, since a few days now, it is also my priority to have on loan, attenzione, on loan in January would be really nice. An option that can start with continuity, playing maybe next to Kalulu, maybe next to Gatti, with Kalulu as an option on the right side. Let's see. But Milan Skriniar, what is possible, what not? Well, thanks to the fact that Juventus entered against Eka, and can have these contacts with the president of Paris Saint-Germain, that is the president of ECA, where it was Agnelli before him. Well, the fact that they are there in contact with Giorgio Chiellini, etc., they can possibly open a way. I told you 10 million euro is way too much for the salary of Milan on loan, Skriniar, on loan to Juve, but because it's the half of the season, because it's a player that at the moment is not playing at Paris Saint-Germain, they want to put him again on the window. It could be that there are some negotiation there to go with a 3.54 million euro for the remaining part of the season, which would be really interesting. A player that couldn't play, or that will not be in play in Champions League until the end of January. Hopefully Juventus qualify, because we started with a 6-on-6. A lot will depend also on the Stuttgart game, because 9-on-9 gives us really open doors to the qualification to the next round, or at least the playoffs. Well, then he could possibly play in that second part, in the knockout stage of Champions League, Skriniar. But another player is also under observation, a player that did extremely well against Juve when they did 0-0 with Empoli, and is Smiley. In Smiley, where Panucci spoke extremely well about, the ex-coach of Albania, that said he is a Juve player. Honestly, the last game that he played with Albania was absolutely not great. Really poor game from Ismaili. But he's a player of talent that could possibly be interested, or Juventus could be interested in him with Giuntoli for January. Look, if really we have to go, I prefer to go for a loan of Milan Skriniar until the end of the season and then going for another target. There are some beautiful names that we are speaking for next season instead of Ismaili. That is not a bad player, but if I need to spend money, I prefer to think twice about Ismaili. Una Juve in prestito, a Juve on loan is the title of Corriere dello Sport. That is speaking about the fact that Juve will go on the market with two priorities, a center-back one and then a striker, but two players that if they come, if Giuntoli is able to find a solution, there will be two players on loan. And if one is Skriniar that we just spoke about, the others, well, it needs to understand who it is. Why on loan? Because we are in talk with Dusan Vlahovic, and the first real meeting where they will sit at the table, the entourage, with the management of Dusan, is imminent. Will happen in the next few weeks, where an agreement could possibly be found under the Christmas tree in the month of December before January, which would be extremely important. There is some news that I didn't like reported by Giovanni Albanese, but I'm not doubting at all about that. Is that Dusan Vlahovic's biggest dream would be to go and play one day at Real Madrid, but before that he wants to win the Scudetto, he wants to try to win the Champions League with Juve, and that's why he wants to extend his contract. Juventus has a plan. They want to extend with 1 year, possibly even 2 years until 27 or 2028 with the same salary, or at least lowering a bit salary so that you can split it over the years, which would be financially really beneficial for Juve. Let's see what they will go out of it. Vlahovic wants to stay. Juve wants to keep him, but Juve wants also to pay attention to the finances. So let's see if they can find something. But I tell you, December is important for us to have Dusan Vlahovic extending. That's extremely important for him, for us. Then the dream about the Real Madrid, in a way it's annoying. But I knew about it because I know that there are some teams that he was really following. And probably it's also following one of his idols, Cristiano Ronaldo. Juventus Football Club, Real Madrid, two clubs that were in the heart of Dusan when he was a little kid. Let's see what I care about. I told you, I prefer to have the best at the peak for short time than a mediocre player from long time. So if he can give us the Scudetto, the Champions League, then for me he can go wherever he wants. But another priority of Cristiano Giuntoli is a player that we have already on loan, and it is Conceição to make him permanent towards as soon as possible. I don't know when. They are in talks with Porto. We know it. We made that kind of strange deal in the last few hours of the Mercato 24 summer. Let's see, but it's a player that we want to keep. A player that will not play this evening with Portugal, because it's a player that arrived there a bit tired. He started to play a bit with continuity, 1 game, 2 games, 3 games in a row. Especially he was not ready to play after the injury 90 minutes, but he was obliged to do so. Player that will not play against Lazio, but this evening he will rest. Good for him. Let him rest today. If he can rest the next game, I will be happy as well. And if he can rest obligedly against Lazio, in a way it's good so that he can recuperate in top form for the game of Stuttgart and then Inter Juve on the 27th. Guys, I've put here the values of transfer market. I put them in the Telegram group with Douglas Luiz, that is at the moment on transfer market the most valuable player of Juve with 70 million, but the trend is going lower. Whilst Dusan Vlahovic 65, the trend is going higher. Don't forget, 7 goals already in 9 games for Dusan. Bremer injured, stable at 60 million euro. That's the top 3, followed by Koopmeiners at 50, by Nico Gonzalez and Thuram at 35, Kenan Yildiz at 30. There is something that I go totally crazy, is when I see Gatti 18, Kalulu 20 million euro, but even more crazy, Savona 0.2. That made me think that transfer market, they didn't watch the games of Savona in the beginning of the season with the under 21 of the Azzurri, but especially with Juve. Already 1 goal, already some beautiful clean sheets in the back, also some beautiful crosses on top. So if they can adapt it, because according to me today he has much more than that, much more. I would say even more than 10 times 0.2 million. What is the real value at today from Nicolo Savola? Let me know in the comment section. Grazie, forza, Juve.